everyone. So what started out as me showing you a little stencil demo ended up being a whole journal page. So come along if you want to check out what I'm doing with my new stencils, and I'm working with a high top sneaker today, so come check it out. So I've taken out my smush book today, and this is just a book that I put all of my extra paint and stencil runoff, and I've had it for a couple years. It's this leather book. It's pretty fantastic. So I'm just gonna pick a page, and I mean, I guess I could pick any page, and randomly I'll just do stuff. Oh, and here's a good example of stuff. So this page, like sometimes they stick together and there's a hole in that page. So I just take tape. So anytime you see a page that has like tape on it, it's because they stuck at one point, and I just, you know, I just stick it back together. Some pages I've done art on and stuff, so I don't know. I just figure let's just take this one, right? And I'm thinking I'm just gonna do some modeling paste, just see what we get on here, and just play around, because sometimes the stencils are really cool and you're not sure what to do with them. So I'm just gonna show you some ideas that just make me happy. So today I'm gonna use my Converse one, which clearly I wouldn't call Converse. I'd call this high top. Yeah, I'm gonna play with this, and I've got some modeling paste out here, and this is light modeling paste. I like that because it dries a little bit quicker. And let's just see what I get. So you know I have absolutely no patience. So this might not be totally dry, but I just have some gesso here. And I'm just gonna start, I don't wanna get rid of all the cool stuff, and maybe I'll even make this a spread, I don't know. I'm just gonna start going around and getting rid of some of that stuff, because what my favorite thing to do over modeling paste or stenciled things with modeling paste is to glaze. So I just wanna push back some of this chaos back here to get some like interesting bits, and then I wanna glaze over this, which will totally make this pop off the page. And like I said, there's really nothing to lose if you keep one of these smush books. Like I said, name it anything you want, but basically this is all the extra stuff that I have out that I figure, it's good, I don't want to, you know, just throw it away. I'll just add it to this book, and it's been collecting for, I want to say, at least 2 years. And I just keep adding to it, and eventually, like days like this, when I want to do something, I kind of have a background already set up for me to play around and practice. This is not something that, you know, that's a legacy, like, oh, this is my best art. But it's a great place to just play around and try new techniques, and I don't know, just make a hot mess. So I'm just going to go around and continue to kind of block out some things. I love the combination of the greens and reds in here, and I love the bit of text, but I just don't want it to overshadow the cool shoe. And how awesome is it that I didn't even think that through, it just happened that way, which is kind of cool. See, I'll just do this side. There's no reason to make it a 2-page spread. So then I was thinking, you know, I totally dig numbers, and I have all these stickers that I still haven't used. So thinking random numbers. I don't know where I'm putting them. I don't know. I'm just going to play around with putting some numbers down because I have them. They are totally random. They mean absolutely nothing in the scheme of things, but I thought, why not just do that, because I can. See, this is the problem. I was just gonna do this quick little video and just show you my stencil and how I would use it, and then now I'm like, oh, well, I could put some washi tape there. And that's totally where I'm going with it too. Look, I could put some washi tape there. Then I pulled out this one because I was like, oh, do I want solid? Do I want striped? And then I was like, oh, I could take out both, which, you know, clearly, I don't know where I want to put that. Do I want to put it over the numbers? Well, that's kind of fun. See, this is the problem. I'm an addict. That's fun, because you gotta have odd numbers, right? And the cool thing about this book is that I can just do that. That's just a piece of, I could probably glue that back down with some gesso. Now I'm talking to myself, but really I can pretend that I'm talking to you. Yeah, see? I'm kind of liking that though. All right, I'll wait for this modeling paste to dry and I'll come back. And I was like, oh my God, what if I put numbers up here? That might be fun. Because I have problems, people. I just can't stop. Because that could be fun. And, you know, I don't want to miss out. Because, you know, then I got to put odd numbers. Because then I'm like, drying it, and I'm like, well, I don't have any numbers at the bottom. So now I should probably put numbers down here. Because, again, I just can't stop. That's the problem. When you get me in a room full of stuff, and then I thought I was just going to be doing like, let's use modeling paste. But no, because I can't stop. Just can't stop. Some of you know what I'm talking about. Some of you know. You just get the stuff in your hands and you're like, what if? And you just, yeah, you just keep going. Because I got product. I don't use it as much as I should, but I got product. How about washi tape? How many of you are like hoarding washi tape? You should take that out today and play with me. Because washi tape's my friend. I can't get it off that roll, so I'm going to go to the next one. Alrighty then. There it is. Because now I have to have this down here, right? But I'm going to have 2 of those instead of 2 of these. Because it's the madness. It's the insanity. What was her name? Susan Powder. Stop the insanity. Oh my God, I just dated myself. There's like 20-something-year-olds watching this and they're like, who is Susan Powder? I'm kind of hoping that's dry because I don't have patience. But, all right, so I have a couple ways to go with this glaze depending on what I want to bring out. So my first option, I was thinking of going ahead and doing, this is one of my favorite colors recently, Nickel Azo Gold, not Quinacridone, or Nickel Azo Yellow, not Quinacridone, Nickel Azo Gold, which is this. This is Nickel Azo Yellow. And then if you do something like a teal on top, then it might make a patina, which might be a really cool thing. And I've got that teal and this weird kind of greenish going on in there. My other idea was to do the orange because it'll pull out the red. I think I'm going to go with a double glaze. Woohoo! Living on the edge. And you can glaze as many times as you want. So I've got my palette here. Sorry, I just put my hand in paint. And I'm going to use acrylic glazing liquid. If you've never used this before, basically, it just makes your paint more transparent. And it actually gives you a couple more minutes time to kind of wipe it away. So I usually use 50-50. 50 glaze, 50 paint. So I'm just going to put my Nickel Azo Yellow here on my palette. And I'm lazy, so I just put it right, it's almost at the bottom, right on top. And then it kind of is freaky because you're going to take your brush and brush it right on top of the whole thing. And I'm just using this wider brush because it's quicker, not because you need that. Just going to mix up really quick. And you'll see it's like baby poop yellow, but it's really a cool color. And it's going to freak you out because you're going to be like, you just painted that whole page yellow. But any nooks and crannies, so this page has a bunch of paper and a bunch of edges, so I have no idea what's going to stick where, but I do know that it's going to bring out all of the nooks and crannies of the modeling paste. So it is kind of a crapshoot, but it's just a fun way to do things. So depending on where you live, if you live in Arizona and there is no humidity, you might need to do it immediately. I usually wait about 60 seconds and then start wiping it back. I would usually use a baby wipe, but like I said, I don't have any, so I'm just putting water on a paper towel. And when you want to get a clean surface, you just get a brand new towel or a brand new baby wipe because you'll end up painting with the paint that's coming off. So you'll see, you get, depending on how long you wait, if you wait less time, you can really wipe everything back. So the first wipe, I kind of just loosen everything. And you're like, yeah, Donna, you just turned that whole thing yellow. But I really didn't. So I'm going to switch to like a clean side of this. And I can get more off. And I'm just being careful because I don't know if I've left enough time for my shoe to cure. So I'm just going to spray some more my homemade baby wipes. And just wipe back as much as I can. And you can see if you start wiping heavier, you'll get it all back. You don't have to leave it. But like I said, I don't know if I've actually let that dry. And I'm kind of liking it a little bit yellow, but I can let some of that background show through. And if it's not coming off, just means you need a clean side. So again, this will use a lot of baby wipes. Homemade paper towel, baby wipe. You could also spray this if you wanted. You'll see. But I'm kind of late. I want that yellow to stay in there. Now the safe color, like the go-to color, is like raw umber, which is like a brown. It'll just give you grunge. But I liked this bright. I didn't feel like the subject was a grungy subject. And secretly, I've been coveting a pair of yellow Converse high tops. So that's maybe more of the reason, subliminally. I'm trying to get the Converse I've always dreamed of. I kind of like that. And like I said, if you wanted more of that off, you can see I can get almost all of that off if I really want. So I mean, that's cool just in of itself, but I'm thinking, you know, it has to have a little teal on it. So I'm gonna let this paint dry. I don't want to reglaze because then I'll make green if I put the teal on there. So I'm gonna let this dry. I'm gonna come back and then I think I'm gonna glaze in teal over the top and just see what we get. But I'm loving that yellow. Like I could walk away right now and be a happy human, but I'm gonna come back, do another glaze of the teal, and see what we get from there. Again, I'm impatient. I probably should wait for that to dry just a little bit longer, but again, impatient. So I'm gonna put my teal on my palette with a little bit more of the glazing liquid. I think I'm gonna put more glazing liquid per paint because I want this to be a little bit more transparent. Cleaned off my brush, I hope. And let's just see what we get. Alright, that's dry. I love it. I don't want to put any more color on that. I love it just how it is. But then, you know, when is enough enough? Never. So I took out, this is one of my other new stencils. It just has numbers written out like a script. And I was thinking if I can find it, my Marabu spray. So if you've seen me talk about these are these permanent spray paints, which are life-changing because you can paint over them once they dry and they don't bleed. So I was thinking, why not do a little spray of numbers up there? Hopefully you'll see it. This is, I think this is a gray. This is gray, so it's a dark gray. And I think I'll just do that and see what it looks like. I love that. I love that. I think I might just want one spot. Maybe I'll just do another little, that. Love that. Loving that. Okay, I'm gonna let that dry. And I'll come back and I have a feeling I might just kind of push some of it back so it's not just crisp. I'll put a little gesso on it, but once that dries, I'll be right back. All right, so like I said, the best part of these Marabu sprays is that they're permanent. So I can go like this over them and it's not gonna bleed. And I can actually see it through there. So it's kind of like stamping it on, but you have the luxury of spraying it on, which I just find exhilarating. So I'm just pushing some areas of it back so it's just not so crisp. And I'm thinking maybe if I took a little bit of glaze into my gesso too, it might make it a little bit more transparent. And I could, of course I don't have a paper towel anymore. Okay, I'll use this black one. See how I can like wipe it back and everything stays there? So it's just, I think I just got glaze on that one. Okay, so I think this is the last thing I'm gonna do. I just have one of these brush pens. Now these are not permanent. And I'm just thinking, I want to give that a little bit of an outline just to give it a little bit of a kind of fade. So I'm just putting my finger in some water. You'll see how it will bleed. I don't want it too overwhelming either. I just wanted to give it some shadow so it lifts off, which I'm kind of loving. So, and if I add more water to it, it'll obviously, here I'll put more water on it, dissipate some more. God, I love layers. So I'm just taking, like I said, that pen, and it's not permanent. So by adding water to it, it just reconstitutes. Now clearly you probably should be using it for script writing, which is probably its purpose. But that would be weird for me to use anything for its purpose, right? And hopefully that's just lifting now off the page. Let's just see. You could also use watercolor. It's not as much fun, but you could use it. I should be done, right? But I thought just for good measure, I have some black ink here and a little dropper. Let's see if I can't. Little drop. Oh yeah. That makes me happy. That is done. That is done like dinner. So I just wanted to show you how to use the stencil today, and I did a whole page. So I hope that you enjoy it, and I would love to see what you create. So if you've got the high top stencil or even the low top stencil, let me see what you make.